Hello, and welcome back to the Cruz Line, brought to you by Tour Productions. I'm your host, Erica Cruz.
And I'm Jason Nichols.
With the 45th President of the United States having been impeached for the second time and facing removal, despite having already left the White House, questions about impeachment and removal are once again on the American conscience. Today, we will discuss the history and constitutional issues surrounding impeachment on today's episode of the Cruz Line.
The Constitution states in Article 2, Section 4 that the President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. The impeachment process in the House of Representatives can be thought of as a grand jury, which results in an indictment. The House of Representatives then delivers the articles of impeachment, which are essentially formal charges, to the Senate and selects managers who operate as prosecutors of the accused.
Roughly 60 people have faced impeachment since the Constitution was ratified, and only 20 have actually been impeached by the House of Representatives. Conviction in the Senate is exceedingly rare. Only 8 people have been removed and all served as federal judges. 3 U.S. presidents have been impeached: Andrew Johnson, William Jefferson Clinton, and Donald John Trump. None have been removed, though Johnson avoided conviction by the narrowest of margins. Trump has a dubious distinction of being the only president impeached in his first term and impeached twice for 2 separate incidents.
The constitutional framers were not very specific about important elements of Section 4 of Article 2. Firstly, who qualifies as a civil officer has been questioned. Impeachment was created as a check on executive and judicial power, and most people interpret civil officers to include anyone appointed by the federal government. That would make federal judges, including Supreme Court justices and presidential cabinet secretaries, subject to impeachment. Members of Congress and military personnel are not subject to impeachment. There's a different process for expulsion of both.
The question many are left with is what constitutes a high crime or misdemeanor. Many scholars point out that one does not have to engage in an actual criminal offense to be impeached. Judge John Pickering was impeached for being intoxicated on the bench, and Samuel Chase was impeached for arbitrary and oppressive conduct of trials. Andrew Johnson was impeached for removing the Secretary of War, Edward Stanton, thereby violating the Tenure of Office Act.
One question many have is whether one can be impeached after one has already left office. According to Professor Brian Kalt of Michigan State University College of Law, quote, "In multiple cases, the House and Senate have proceeded as though they can impeach and try people who have already left office. And in one case, the Senate took a specific vote to that effect. The very first impeachment occurred in 1797 of Senator William Blount. Blount had already been expelled, but the Senate still held a trial. It was determined that Blount did not qualify as an officer since he was a senator. There are other similar cases, like Secretary of War William Belknap in 1876, where the Senate came to the conclusion that it could still try him despite his resignation. The framers certainly feared the partisan weaponization of impeachment, but they mostly feared corruption and leaders behaving like kings and tyrants. They did not want officials to have free rein to commit crimes in the end of their terms or to save themselves from accountability by simply resigning. Impeachment is the last resort, but an important one, and it is the backstop of our representative democracy.
That's all for us here on the Cruz Line. Like and comment below if this video was helpful. Share widely and be on the lookout for more content from us and other soon-to-launch shows on Tour Productions. Stay safe and wear your mask.